Still here, stuck in this damn... Ah, man. But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Hey, man, that's serious criminal talk. Are you trying to pull some...
Entrapment.
Then what's your deal here? Not me, man. No.
We have a credible lead, sir.
Gotta guard the stuff. Bosses don't look kindly on missing cargo.
A rhymesmith. This is quite credible.
Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions. Still here, stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up?
Wait, there's something here, stored away in some dusty corner. It starts like...
Whoa! What else? Silent communion. That's good. Dang, that's some great shit. You came up with that yourself. Fucking hey! Seems I got you all wrong. Cops aren't much known. It's good to meet a fellow poet. Someone with an appreciation for real text. The others here, so you don't really get it. Yeah, I guess I owe you an apology for thinking otherwise. And again, great shit.
You found some common ground with this man. Even impressed him. The next time you look in the mirror, though, remember those words.
Ah, man. But those days are... Hey, man.
Entrapment is a...
We have a...
Not me, man. No, gotta guard...
A rhymes...
Look, man, I try to stay away from the...
Everything's still cool here, officer. Everything's still cool here.
No need.
Oh, okay. But why, officer?
Are you...
Sorry, detective.
Does Kuno care? Fucking right, pig. Kunos don't be Yankee.
You need to befriend him first.
Kuno doesn't...
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Again.
Good.
About.
Behind, you see 2, maybe 3 bushes. The man on.
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
You're an enthusiast.
We don't have time.
The door is closed. This door. Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let any... You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza. Safre. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight. So they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. I don't go for that foreign piss. Proper booze is made in Mundi. Or sometimes
He eyes you warily, unsure how to respond. This goes on for
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips.
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about genetics. Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to.
If they were getting drunk inside the whirling in rags, how could they know?
What? Aren't we allowed to say that he's a kips who do all the stealing? Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang. That beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling drugs as well. That's the one. His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood. Is your man alright? 100%. He's a lorryman selling his employer stuff.
I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not until we've heard what's...
Guess so.
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help? Yeah, the janitor who gave me the key to his apartment said the guy's a bit of an asshole. Like I said before, I don't know much about this weasel, but the boss man said he's a real piece of work. Thanks for helping out, friend. Make w-
I'll die before I squeal, pig. What's this kid? I'll die before I squeal, pig. Murder?
Fuck does Kuno care? Kuno
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here. You have no clue. So many walls.
That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question. Better not tie the fourth day to the bat's staleness. I hope there is something else I can help you with. On the contrary, officer, there are yet camionneurs you have not...
They must have someone in an overlooked position.
I suggest you go back and canvass for more suspects.
God damn it, I already told you. My husband isn't missing. And I specifically added that I didn't need to know where he was. Very well then. Where is he? Excuse me? I don't follow. Right, 'cause working class women come with...
Remember, about that what. Never ever say what.
You were right. I do have an alcoholic husband.
Ha! Blam! Knew it.
No, he's not. Or maybe he is, I don't know. He's probably in the pot. I haven't seen him for... Well, to hell with him.
She sighs.
All right, go ahead. Do you have any... Honestly, not that different from you. Oh, thank God, no. It hasn't come down to... Well, he's slight. What else? He was wearing a dark brown leather jacket with a bright blue inner lining. The lining is hand-sewn. I made it myself.
It's his cool jacket. God.
Who cares about the cold when you have your cool jacket?
I even tried throwing it away once, but he just... Well, what can you do? Yesterday morning? Because we talked about this. We talked...
Gone for around 36 hours then. Damn. She turns away from you in an attempt to recover.
So you are going to look for him? Thank you. Please do. Even though I'm sure...
I'm sure he will too. When he does, would you let Precinct 50...
I will. Of course, officer. Right.
She gives you.
Sorry, sir. I can't talk right now. I'm very busy with...
You just can't win. Out of the rain and into the gutter. You have absolutely no idea.
Math. It's really difficult. Like, really. Oh, I found something while you were away. I thought this would fit you. Like, thanks for helping out. Not me. The city, I mean. Like a detective does. Yes, just like the one Dick Mullen wears all the time. Right, I have to...
A small mountain of colourful board game box.
One Browbridge.
Who are you going to play board games with? It certainly feels like whatever you are will die with you.
Don't be so... For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Hyundai somewhere. A twinge at the back of your head makes you... Your hand reaches toward a book with glossy cover art of the very muscular man from Hyundai in chains, kneeling in front of a staircase leading to a throne. A woman sits on the throne, leering at the man. She's laughing at him, belittling him. Between the throne and the Hyundai man lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. The shadow of the woman's headdress looks like a pyramid, especially those leering types. It's symbolic of vice. The display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Hyundai novels. Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly stalwart Vespertine detective Dick Mullen. Your attempt to grasp at the answer failed. Shelves full of biographies of several the maps. This bookstore is not...
I can't have you end up, like, opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Indeed. Well, I hope it...
Medicinal purposes of the pearl. The cup... lorry stuck. The woman still has her eyes fixed.
If you want her attention, you may need...
Where am I? Who are you? Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam in the 50s. Back in Methka, during the time of the revolution, until you came along. This is Gabriel Buenguerro.
A strikingly handsome man looks straight at...
He was the biggest star of his day. Girls used to faint in the aisles of cinema whenever he came on the screen.
In all likelihood, it's a world.
Someone was. They are someone's memories, boy. What difference does it make? They're beautiful. That is all that matters. Beautiful and true. I wasn't dreaming. I was there, Loman.
It was early spring, and the mine, while you, people, were tearing each other apart over your petty little...
The Republic of Men.
Why not, Harife?
There's something off about this woman.
Diamonds? Of course not. But wouldn't it be whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine? I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. Then it's contraband, lawman. What? Do you want to take an old woman in? Be my guest. Lock me away like Bad Hand Hermenegildo.
Bad Hand, Hermenegildos's bad hand, strangled 300 people.
Of course not.
A boyadero.
It's an old ballad about a young girl who falls in love with a daring boyadero. Of course not. So the boyadero strangles his beloved and throws her body in the magret. The most beautiful.
What if to truly love a boyadero is to float lifeless downstream?
She's just a distracted old woman.
So he doesn't think.
You hear that, lawman? I don't think you're...
Nothing. I just don't think...
He doesn't want your frail mind caught up in...
Oh, don't worry about me. I'm one of the best camioners around. I drive Lomonosov's Land, Udashnaya Zemlya, the Western Plain, the Transcatolia Magistral, U41A, Autostradas do Mirador, all the good ones, the deep trenches, where the bluebirds fly. You go right ahead, lawman. Is that all you woke me up to say? Now what do you want with an old woman's boots, Sheriff? I'm starting to think you should let me get back to Gabriel Buenguerro.
She's wearing sturdy worker's boots made of black leather.
Just before Gabriel, it was the coronation.
Moreover, the boots were size 37. Another discrepancy, although not boot-related, is the coronation of His Innocence, Frank.
It was. And then it was no more. Perhaps it was another Sheriff who came and woke me up, looking at my boots, asking questions.
As she says, Carnival, she gestures to the empty square.
I could have told you that from just looking at them. The size is 37.
The feet of a little girl, they fit well on the pedals. What do I need drugs for, lawman? What I see, what I feel, the great adversary, no drugs can compare. Yes, there is a protagonista, and...
Those epithets are familiar somehow. The great adversary, the great unrest.
If you don't know, you're mad, lawman. What of it? Maybe, probably not. Makes no difference to me either way. Just this month, I made half a dozen trips from Saramiriza to Grad. On the U41A. No, lawman, diamonds. Diamonds are good for you, lawman. You should try them sometime. Make yourself pretty like Eva de Zoras. Easy. It's the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet.
That's correct. There is no visibility of any...
Where do you want me to go? This isn't so bad. I can listen to music, or the seagulls. Look at all the colors and the future. Or I can just relax and let my mind carry me back where it will. To the...
I think we're done here, no?
Yes, go.
Right, two.
Hola, Wandering Man.
C'est en prom...
Hey, mister, I'm not gonna bother you with a...
Now, what can Everard Clare do for you today? What? Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any Johnny Fat Guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating? You've hurt me, Harry. Me, a friend. But you know what?
And gets over it in 2 seconds.
I trust you, like I trust all my friends. And I know you'll never talk to me about this again, because you don't want to wound me. So do what you want. And let's change the subject.
He's hiding his...
Thank you for your understanding. We will continue to do.
You too, Lieutenant. You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite.
None taken. Did we have...
Make way for the master poet.
Ease into it. Don't go too.
You really are the law, aren't you?
Maybe the. An old East Delta Commerce Center. This must. No. Hold on. Silence. Looks like someone.
Fuck does Kuno care?
He's on your crime scene, bossing you around. And he's been here for some time too. This is where he hangs out. You have to get more out of him. He could be useful.
Get your snout. You should give up, Popo.
You okay, Kuno?
That went wrong. He took it as a compliment. Then he had a minor seizure.
Kuno doesn't.
Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear. Something close to you dies with a soft.
Why did you do that?
The lieutenant raises his brows. Somewhere, a machine hums along with the current. This orange machine turning the crank is all gone now. You slip. No. If you want. The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside its belly. An intricate. It still kind of looks like a map of the stars for you to discover. Someone who knows about history. Gone. Medicinal. Flipping through the book, you find a number of sections on the general bed. You come across the following explanation. While modern pharmacopoeia are continually updated by so-called it's all quackery. Finally, something to calm the angry spirits that have been plaguing you. It seems to contain descriptions of the medicinal properties of various ingredients that may be gathered from the pail, as well as instructions for producing a variety of. There are a number of zeolite tonics that promise to improve your short-term memory, but nothing that speaks to your condition. What you're describing is booze. You don't need it. There's nothing in here that speaks to hangovers directly. However, while browsing through the various descriptions, you become convinced. First, you need to choose a base ingredient. Next, you'll need to combine the base ingredient with an appropriate vehicle. Lastly, is there anything else you'd like to add? The ginger and aloe vera make this poultice ideal for the treatment of arthritis. It won't do anything. Would you like to try again? Very well. First, next, lastly, the ginger. The very thought of this tea causes your muscles to relax and your mind to clear. You're more present. A tingle rushes down your spine and you feel your toes. Very well. First, choose a base ingredient. Next, you'll need to combine the base ingredient. Lastly, is the ginger. You imagine yourself with a mug of this. actual art degree. Trite, contrived, mediocre, milquetoast, amateurish, infantile, cliché and gonorrhea. The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over you touch the dead man's body. A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. A thick layer of coal dust. Something.
Hello?
You've awakened the entity.
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs.
You hear a low rumble upstairs.
After you, officer.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. It's dark.
What are you doing? Wait, really?
Hello, I'm Nick. Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening. So what kind of die are you looking for?
Could this be the malicious entity? Perhaps it's wise to go along with this masquerade for now. She's got a direct view.
Yes, Amelia is like a call-in station. Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite... Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? He doesn't even... I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system.
Role-playing games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident. Does that count?
Very good. My rate is... Take a look around.
It almost looks as if the stones and dice are...
How did I become? Some of my friends were role players. Not especially.
Some of those nice people have big bucks to spend on novelty items.
Of course. Tell me what you have in mind. Ah, yes. Fortress Accident. The Wiro Untethered die is a variation of a stun.
Ice, death, loss.
I'm thinking something made from alligator. It's an icositetrahedron.
Loving it. So nifty.
Untreated bone is porous and prone to chipping. Cast break. See you in 8 hours then. Was there anything else? Nothing really.
Who cares about the dead body? We might be dealing... The lieutenant looks at his notebook.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see...
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most... Well, there's always something going. During daytime, there are usually those... But I never saw anyone during that fateful sun. I might have, but in this case, all I would have seen is my...
It's light here, but dark in the yard.
It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides,
This person values focus above all.
It's an odd profession.
She nods.
Anything else, officer? We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know. But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides...
Plaisance was right. There's an entity living in the chimney.
Creative.
I've heard the stories. but I don't think those stories are true. It's just capitalism. We only hear about tales of success, so it's often surprising to realize how many play sounds, the bookshop lady. I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energy spared her somehow? Ah, the Seminese trinkets.
But it doesn't. This is merely a...
Oh, right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East of the Commerce Central project. And then I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. What, so the curse only affects people with poor work ethics? What you're
Time has come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in this psychic quest.
Exactly. But I'm glad we got this sorted out.
The bookstore closes starting 2100. You'll have to do that tomorrow.
More or less.
Oh, quite a lot of them spring to mind.
Yes, I think it was called
A bit of experimenting every now and then. It's not about the haircut. It's about the...
I guess it just wasn't... It wasn't merely a gym. It's a kind man from Zemsk. I heard he had some trouble. Kuno. Who's Kuno? Oh, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth? Yes, I've heard. I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid. It didn't.
It's not really full of that.
Eventually, the coalition took away the fund. Oh, this one's a mess. Turns out, the business was actually set up as...
What's this?
And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it. It's a Sub Rosa radio station that broadcasts real murders.
Don't worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals exclusively with...
Good luck with that. It's not easy catching those... You mean Mr. Fabron? The taxi... Anything else? There used to be a fashion atelier here. The atelier... And you know how all kinds of and, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers... Really? And they were made by... Honestly, I think it's quite the usual, I imagine. That he's been thinking of...
Men like that are a curse.
Sure, but Slipstream, I have no idea why those
They were just the props. Maybe you could make a sword out of one.
Fortress Accident, the radio, they were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing.
That's understandable. Fantasies are serious things.
They certainly took their work very serious. The usual. They ran out of money and couldn't... Well, I did hear them talking at times. They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some ground. That's what I thought. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce. And so is producing something... Anything else? Oh boy. The place was owned by two guys who had...
Indeed. What were the other items?
That was really just and by...
Fritte does the same thing.
Employing Soki, and they already... The bear. Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one... Eventually, Ravishal ICT lost the price war to its right. Maybe. He said that the bear was his vision beast.
Sounds cool.
Megatherion. It's an imaginary by telling you to do more drugs, mostly. Very good. You shouldn't do them. You're a police officer after all. Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream. Anything else? Another failed... Oh, right. I hope you didn't try to ring. I think none of those doorbells work.
The doorbell with the empty name card must belong to her.
That's right. I haven't even written my name there. As I said, you could say so. Both houses were built...
If the whirling is part of the same building, then...
Right. It used to... My advice... Don't...
Agreed. Pinball is the worst.
It can't be true. They don't work here anymore. Are you sure it was Slipstream SEA? Was it a woman? Maybe... Oh, right. But did the Tricentennial elect... It used to be...
No. Whatever happened, keep your cool. It's probably better.
Pranks can be eerie. Oh, the kids these days. Sure, I'm listening. I'm pretty sure it still doesn't work. Sure, I'm listening. Good. I hope it clarified things a bit.
Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container. About my fun container, it's a hoot, Harry. Who knows? Maybe you'll be in here the next time they move it. It will be very fun, I promise. But enough about me and my container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them, all hardened commando types. One of them got downright suicidal, getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy, the one who likes hanging out.
By negotiator, you mean?
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill. There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but...
That sounds a bit like organized.
They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they all...
Again, that sounds like...
So these idealists killed our victim?
One day, Titus Hardy...
Gendarmerie. You found...
His slender figure is backlit.
It was mine. My friends use it from time to time to visit me. So tell me, are you here to make things right again? Beautiful. I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting. That's why I chose this place. Martinez is special.
Wait. Suddenly you are digging things?
Trust me. You do. That's nice, but...
He takes another drag of his... Downstairs, a cat crosses the yard.
Besides, I've got...
He's going to leave you alone again. Something tells you you're never going to talk to an individual this cool or mysterious ever again.
To the city. It's a beautiful night.
Something flutters in the corner of the lieutenant.
We'll talk. Just not tonight. Take care, alright?
And he's gone again. Looks like it's becoming a theme for him.
Who knows, detective? It's a mystery. Different, of course. His shirt. His shirt. His shirt. No, I don't know why his shirt.
He's barely holding...
Come on, detective.
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
His hands are clean and well manicured. This is a man who...
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the institute. I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am...
Hanging? What a drag. He seems like a cultured gentleman. You should ask him about the finer things.
Of course. Let me just say it has been an...
The lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you.
I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
Easy, detective. No need to jump to conclusions.
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me.
What do you mean, like in a play?
It was just so strange. I could barely comprehend. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead. That's when I understood.
Sounds like the victim was unconscious, or at least incapacitated. Well done, detective.
I couldn't see their faces well, and there were quite a few of them. But they were very loud and very... Let's just say that the laboring classes can get rather expressive with their profanity. I couldn't tell you exactly. Less than 10.
The lieutenant sends you a sharp look at the mention of that number.
That's a giant you're describing. No, they were all quite human, as far as I could tell. Drummers! Wow.
I think we can drop the drummer angle. That was my bad.
I went back inside.
Were you able to see anything?
Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see. But I could... All men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clearly. I believe they were mostly white, though I believe I saw 2 Areopagites among them. And I am quite certain that one spoke with a Mesk accent. Well, that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. It was oddly quiet. Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, no celebratory shouts, no anything. You're right, of course. That is what one is supposed to do in such circumstances. I'm afraid I don't have anything else to add.
About what time was all this happening, approximately?
All I can say is that it was late. No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day.
It seems this wasn't the break you were hoping for. I think we have everything we need. Thank you for talking to us, Mr. Villedroit.
Of course, anything I can do to assist the RCM. The coalition is only looking out for the price stability. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires... well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we... Yes, as I said before.
Wait, there isn't actually an Institute of Price Stability, is there? Or maybe there is... God.
La communauté internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call your employer, technically speaking. The governing authority, it is the most important thing. It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy, which is essential for maintaining the social...
Basically, it makes sure the price of bread doesn't...
Précisément. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. That's why the Institute of Price Stability works to keep inflation just below 2%. But not too far below, no. Too below is also bad. Below. But the coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stability. A sound monetary I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. It's the International Organization for Moralists.
Doing one's job doesn't automatically make one anyone.
But of course. Because moralists believe in a normal, stable world governed by democracy. The Occident is part of the normal world. Martinez? No. Martinez is something else. Revachol is generally difficult, but they are working towards it. You're all doing very well here, relatively speaking. Your full autonomy is important, I agree. But now, enough of this delightful political... What's there to say? Moreover, it is a great sponsor of less emerged countries.
Darlings? That can't be an official designation.
Because a great percentage of Rivachol's culture hails from Sur-la.
Jamrock and other parts.
Oranje is an exemplary nation. As founding members, they are both very EPIS. Oranje carries a lot of political weight, while Sur-la-Clé takes care of the business side of things. Sur-la-Clé, Oranje's economy is one of the most advanced in the world.
But that didn't tell you anything about Oranje.
About what? Oh, it's very urban and very well organized. Their streets are clean, their horse... Whatever you wish, officer. Kedra is a candidate member of APIS. But that it's never going to happen. EPIS is a very special program developed by the Moral Intern to support...
God, yes. Sweet standardized.
It was such a wild success. Why, it stands for progress and stability, like the Moral Intern as a whole. A supranational... You mean Revachol? No, it's going to have... It's one day going to be a candidate.
Except that candidate members...
No. But we were talking about my friend here, not politics. How did any of us become friends? Au contraire. It's how millions of people end up where they are. Meeting the people. I'm just enjoying the view. Listen.
The baby is crying in the neighboring apartment.
No, listen. The Insulindian Bay. This place used to be a luxury accommodation. But the million real view, my friend comes and goes. I'm sure you'll...
A busy bee? What an odd choice of words.
I'm Ollie. A moment. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave. It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen.
That's not the real reason he's so apprehensive. Men in his position shouldn't be seen loitering around in underprivileged young men's apartments.
Of course. I'm sorry I couldn't be the break you were looking for.
windows stand, the morning light. The door is still.
Greetings on this fine night. What is it? Spring is the pawn shop is always open. Greetings on this fine night. What brings you here?
Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, a drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
I try to keep the shop at a comfortable temperature. I've had to take it, since the People's Pile cleanup.
He's taken it for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in.
The People's Pile was a Type U, a primitive nuclear reactor. Construction began during the Commune of Revachol. Needless to say, an emergency valve defect resulted in steam pressure blowing the turbine.
We were an all-volunteer force, self-organized, tried to help the fire brigades contain the spill.
On the patch, gamma radiation lines.
I lived by the river since I was a small boy. There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it ever had. So much disappointment. No one's. Everyone's.
So much bitterness.
A bunch of poor people built themselves. The cleanup happened 15 years ago. I was young then. Later, my second, so I came to Martinez. I like the theory more than the story. Outward movement, not vortices.
Yeah. You gotta get in on those vortices, man.
You said you'd done it before, yeah? If you say, here you go, man.
Yes, darling. That's the coalition government ordained pyrrolidon. Straight into your gut.
I respect your decision, officer.
The pockets of these new jeans are perfect for... Hey, it's a chewing gum wrapper. It reminds... Not familiar in a good way. By the way, the raw materials were most likely... There it is again. the scent of apricots with a touch of cinnamon. The sun sets into the sea, but the water does not. There is a movement next. Why are you talking to a gum wrapper? Yes, from the height of bitter, citrus, sweet. It seems to grow stronger. Whatever petrochemical byproducts they used until a blossom of skin and flower petals erupts feels so.
Hello, hello. Let me know. Here you go, man. Of course. Sure thing. Sure, man.
Typical Martinez street lights. The light pop. This would make quite a statement in your living room. All the... Wow. Oh yeah. The print depicts a muscled man. Smells like worn cotton.
Sniffing is okay. But please don't try anything.
You're not imagining it.
Hell yeah, man. I don't... A fan? No, most people don't think that the man from I mean, even if the man from Hjelmdal didn't exactly. Besides, I've been to Kotla.
His theory isn't exactly very
too rare.
That's very cheap for a printed t-shirt.
It should belong to anyone, but why? I suppose that makes sense, yes. Please go ahead and...
You sit on the wind-worn wooden planks of the bench. The twiddling barely... You stare at the now familiar black and white.
The unpromising race pupil return.
Tiles on the cube. The speaker.
Good evening. Please repeat. Good. Please repeat. Still proceed.
Don't.
Fortress X. Thank you.
Tiles on the cube.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a dye? I'm listening. They were made by a company called Sleep. Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmission. Sure, it's illegal, but it's not exactly anything.
They were just props. Why return them?
Fortress, they were an interesting. They certainly the usual. Well, they.
She sounds almost mocking when she says that.
Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic, and to show up to work on time. Not the wisest decision. You would have.
The result is 1. The dice is black and filled.
Anything else? Good. I hope it clarified things a bit.
barbell waits patiently on the floor like a dog for its master. You feel something in your chest, an unnatural pressure. It's spreading to your left arm. Yeah, screaming isn't happening on account of extreme. All you feel is pain and weakness. You see, a mirror hangs on as you sleep. Abort. You clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it. Yeah, there is definitely something wrong with it. Where to even begin? There is the bloatedness, then the swollenness. It's not. It's swollen and snail-like, wriggling between your fingers. The bed is still cold from the broken window, and not too. The bed is still cold from the wind blowing in from the broken window.
Here we are again, my broken bud. The waves are coming, carrying you away. But you can't go. You're not cooperating. It's your disgusting body. Even through your sleep, you feel a vague discomfort suffusing it. Your belly and your sides are unpleasantly tender. You wish you could curl up into a fetal ball of safety. But you cannot.
And there's a lot of it, ever present in your organs. It's like every one of them. That pain in your right side is your enlarged liver, by the way. As for your kidneys, you've really been compounding the damage lately.
Now you've gone off the rails, baby. Now you're stuck sitting here by the tracks, admiring the wreck. You're just stuck here, in the half-world. Sure you do.
At least they're interesting. Each one has a process just like yours. People are beautiful, statuesque, parodies and tragedies of themselves. A great democracy of creatures.
What do you think you're doing right now? Coming to some great...
Let it.
But it never seems to let you go, does it? Time to ride.